brand new analytics connected to Loki Season 2 have been revealed, and they paint a pretty disastrous picture for the second season. We talked about the fact that Loki's first episode of Season 2 did pretty well for Marvel Studios, as we saw initial numbers that topped over 10 million views in the first 3 days, which obviously is pretty great. But the latest update from Nielsen, which I talk about that plenty, and we talked about it recently in the other podcast I do, which is somewhere down there in my link tree. Anyways, Nielsen is not the go-to in terms of accuracy, but again, they got a system that people rely on, so it's the best sort of metric we can get. So when it comes to the biggest streaming shows from October 2nd to the 8th, which obviously includes Loki, Loki did not chart in the top 10. That's at least in the overalls, because other series that have been going on for a while, like Suits and Grey's Anatomy, ended up dwarfing it. In original series, it ended up landing in 6th place with a total watch time of 446 million minutes. In that same time frame, Ahsoka ended up getting 575 and ended up in 2nd place. So what this is telling us is that series that have been going on for a long time, specifically if we look at, obviously I mentioned Suits, Grey's Anatomy, but also NCIS, and a couple of other shows, they did great, on top of movies that did great that are included here, like Elemental, for example, which did tremendously well. And of course, Disney's Haunted Mansion, which absolutely dwarfs beyond any suspecting anybody really out there, and despite not doing that great in theaters, on streaming in overall it ended up 3rd with almost 1 billion view minutes. So Loki not charting on here isn't that surprising, but it is concerning when you look at original series and the fact that it's 6th, and the fact that it fell behind Ahsoka. But again, Ahsoka had a lot going into the last episode, a lot of hype, so there's some things here to be a little bit worried about. But again, this is one specific time frame, and we don't know beyond it. And it's going to take another couple weeks to get a bigger picture of what it looks like. It's worrying, yes, but as far as we've seen, it's actually on par with the first season, if not outpacing it in some instances. So when we get the final report, we'll talk about it. I would be surprised if it does worse than the first season, but again, we'll see.